1206 pound built by Keith on exactly January the 29th, 2026. I am your new world leader. A group of us. Crime-free, debt-free, drama-free utopia, unocracy.org. And we're 100% victimized by basically Robert D. Rose, cybercrime terrorist, who succeeded in having us kidnapped and almost killed October 3rd, 2011 at DuncanClaim.org. But nobody wants to accept criminal evidence. Why? Because they're aliens. They're only interested in the money, only interested in the complete control of the laws and the economy. Criminal ruling elite. We're waiting for the bus right now. Should be coming around the corner. We're back in Norcross. Obviously, everything will drop in prices once we eliminate the worst of the worst of the worst threats in the world. Manhuntall.com and the FBI, the Attorney General, in fact, every government, every corporation in the world, including you, will now protect my life. Why? Because of the value in the most extreme situation of WorldWar4.org. Evote.one is the whole basic driver for a new world's economy, where we pick and choose everything about each other called passing judgment. The database, FOIA.one, is you share all your public information and store your private information in the community-based database. So therefore, the criminal ruling elite and the outsiders can't see what you're doing. But if you violate the law, instant justice called DueProcessLaw.org. We're currently waiting for the Gwinnett County bus. Connect to MARTA. We're going down to Chamblee to meet with John Parks. In fact, we're meeting with everybody. Everybody must call and demand direct conversations with Governor Brian Kemp. And then he'll send us to Trump, really Washington, D.C., and then we'll be dispatched overseas as your Prince of Peace. Sovereign ambassadors to host mediate PeaceSummit2020.com, which is now Peace Summit 2026. It's all based upon Cobb County Cancel Restraining Order TPO 11.1.1171 that was used, reversed because I've been robbed, and then I was robbed of $40 billion of assets. My churches know this. Oak Grove United Methodist Church, Peachtree Road United Methodist Church. The original was Peachtree Corners Baptist Church. Tens of thousands of people know exactly that I was sent by God, which is a website, by the way. God sent with a key, T, GodSentKeith.org. The websites are now 120 websites, and I'm losing them because I don't have any money, because I'm running out of my Social Security, because I keep having extra expenses like my van, my car, just blew a water pump, got frozen. So I'm actually staying in a homeless shelter temporarily while the temperature's low. My original value was not worth $40 billion. It was actually the multi-trillion dollars. We must speak directly with the other world leaders, including Elon Musk. He'll understand what I'm doing. We were the developers of the original artificial intelligence. And I'm looking over my shoulder because this is the bus stop. Less than 4 minutes. Protect my life today. We'll publish this as quick as we can. At the library, of course. 2026, January 30th. This is solutionhousing.org. In fact, it's dirt cheap. No, it's a furnished room. $20 a night hostel that we're going directly through Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, 404-656-1776, room 101 and 203. Chief of Staff is Lauren Curry. He already knows this. In fact, the whole world should have known this 30 years ago. We're obviously at the Arts Center. We're the most creative, wealthiest person in world history, and we are 100% victims of organized criminal Robert D. Rose. He infiltrated corporate and government databases at every level starting 1995, so therefore he wiped himself clean off the databases. along with the other super criminal terrorists that we fondly call Antichrist Lucifers. We published LuciferAgenda.com, and we also published World War IV, the number 4.org. Our phone numbers are all over the internet. Our broadcasts are the most prolific, simple peacemaking system in world history. Notice the hat that I'm wearing. And it's all about solving problems at the moral, spiritual level worldwide. And I'm going around to know that this is not artificial intelligence. You can obviously see I'm a real person, and I'm the wealthiest person in the world. Incoming call now to me, scammers, 415-767-1526. We know how to get rid of every con artist, every scammer in the entire world. 2-minute video. The entire basic is Evote.one, single open public database shared by everyone at the community level, regional and international. FOIA.one. And of course, the whole banner is under two words actually. Unocracy.org, defined as the will of the people decide the next best project. The other is who oversees, who's going to be the leaders of the world. Well, that's going to be one organization of 100% gifters. Did you hear that word? 100% gifters called philanthropists. Fortune1.org. I even procreated givingpledge.space as a superset. And the only person who really understands most of what's going on is Tom Haig in Las Vegas, Sin City, that will now become Safe City. You see, people deny that I've ever existed as the number one procreator of a new world economy. Only middle class, debt-free, $1 buying power will be the same 100,000 years from now. And the only way is to get rid of the criminals, the con artists, the Lucifers, the Antichrist, starting with manhuntall.com. And everyone now enforces the world's most complete, perfected godsconstitution.org, which is also named solutionmanifesto.com. All the churches, oh, there we go. We got a little toy, robotic delivery. Well, there's the automated called Fonte. Most interesting. So the whole system is to grow a new world, replacement, total decentralization, total privatization. That occurs with one of our greatest solutions, not only solutionmilitary.com of no more warlords, it is reinvestall.com. It's only 4 steps. Invest in yourself by surrounding yourself with bright, smart people that actually know what they're doing. Number 2, never invest in corporations, invest only in people. 3, only local credit unions using unocracybank.com.org. And, of course, solutionbankfraud.com that keeps everyone out of the databases. In fact, it'll take 2 to 5 years to go back in history and figure out who has been stealing your assets and waging war against you. That's the definition of World War IV.org. Call us back directly. We're out doing street ministry again today with the Solution Housing. There's the proof right there of where I'm at. And I'm actually riding a bike because my van's been damaged by the city of Atlanta. Hit a medium in front of Peachtree Road United Methodist Church, January the 3rd. Just blew out my strut, my tire. And that has some of the other solutions, which you'll find very quickly, is Solution Manifesto. So there's this whole system about teaching everyone to be efficient, morally obligated to solve your own problems, and that is PeaceSummit2020.com, which is now Peace Summit 2026. I need immediate support, which is we consolidated everything finally under investkey.org, which shows the entire system of unocracy.org transition period. Of course, when we dump the stock market, no longer use it, there'll still be privately traded corporations, very small stock market, but that'll be under WTF1, World Trade Federation 1.org, and we even have worldpto.com, which is Patent Trade Office. So no one can steal your assets anymore because all the databases will be localized. No one will be able to brainwash you anymore. We've even replaced every national news media with usnews1.org, because all they do is spin bad news. We're right across the street from Interface, which I love that type of group, and that's it. 6 minutes. 1206 on February the 2nd, 2026, Groundhog Day. This company, Department of Labor, will finally figure out what solutionjobs.org is about. I've always been one of the wealthiest people in America and the world, and here I am riding MARTA with my Breeze card with a bike. My car has an $800 damage to it. Well, it's the fuel, it's the water pump, and I can't afford to pay for it because of Cobb County, Georgia, canceled restraining order 11.1.1171 that was criminally issued on orders of cybercrime terrorist Robert D. Rose, who always promised to kill me in person, and my family, and my lawyers, and anybody who holds his information. So therefore, he has to cut a special deal with the U.S. government, known as the feds. So the whole problem, nobody enforces GodsConstitution.org, which is the world's last open, public, shared commandments. Everyone benefits when the bottom line is debt-free, only middle class, no wars, no poverty, no crime, no vice sins. Well, there it is, God's commandments. Do not sin. How many sins do you commit? Anybody can find me and call me directly, and I'll debrief them on how they can now be multimillionaires in 6 to 3 years. It takes time, but you're going to pay as you go, and you're going to have all your business dealings legally binding contracts, which is the basis for solutionjudge.com, but it's really all about dueprocesslaw.org. I've been homeless since October 3rd because Robert D. Rose paid off almost everybody to order I be killed, silenced, so that you would never inherit Mother Earth. Mother Earth. God damn these people who worship Lucifer. They're called Antichrist, and there's millions of them, which is why I've always asked for safe haven protection, particularly through Sally Q. Yates, who was the Attorney General of all of Atlanta. And I've also been directly back to Governor Brian Kemp with people in tow, but nobody wants to go because they say this is too unreal. It's the greatest crime drama in world history. Everybody loves a drama. The national news media, no one will cover it. The media won't cover it, despite all the people I've gone to, 300 lawyer firms. They'll say, well, if you're not injured in an accident or medical malpractice, we don't want to talk to you. They want quick money, so we're going to replace all the liabilities and debts with positive, so no one has any liabilities. All these cars here, well, that's going to be freebusfreetrains.us, 2 separate websites, and joydrive.us. It's a multi-trillion-dollar savings industry when you get rid of the wiring harnesses, the switches, retrofit your cars, and build drive platforms that have standardized parts. Doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. Every company, every corporation, every government will pay Fortune1.org to embed our technology. Can you count the money yet? Proof of funds is Keith 2022 that includes $4.2 million of insurance. Everybody refuses to acknowledge that I've ever existed. Same thing that most of you deny that God ever existed. And you definitely have not taken care of Mother Earth. So you think God and Mother Earth are going to take care of your damn asses? And I used to dam, which is the 3-story highway dam. That's solutionsafewater.org that also unifies mankind. And the one person I paid and recruited and hired, Tom Hegg out in Las Vegas, Sin City, will now be Save City. The first focus is to protect my life, provide me safe haven, while the greatest roundup occurs, using God's method, citizens arrest. Manhuntall.com, so no one can ever accuse you of a crime without showing evidence, because exactly what happened to me. 6 times I was kidnapped because the criminals didn't want to go to prison. And I fully believe, like you should, in death row. There are psychopaths, sociopaths. They're the worst of the worst of the worst. Bernie Madoff's, Eric Rudolph, we have a direct connection to him through Charles Rogers. Everyone now takes responsibility with a moral obligation to solve your own community problems. And therefore, at your village, your community, stands on its own 2 feet. The entire umbrella is under unocracy.org. In the early days, I couldn't tell everybody what my net worth was because I would just be victimized by everyone going, oh, yeah, right, sure, yeah, you're the inventor of foam cradle. You're the inventor of the original selfie stick. Oh, my God, you got a pocket bell. One word. We invented and patented with Charles Link and Bill Gwynn and quite a few others way back in 1982 at BBL Industries. My resume is at Keith2022.com, and it's really at bidonkeith.com. I was about to earn $10,000 per day consulting with every government, every corporate level in the world with my people. Not just me. I'm recruiting, hiring tens of thousands of people, and the first priority is about 1,000 corporate executives to join Fortune1.org and actually be paid after you perform the assigned tasks using your very own expertise called Matters of Subject Matter Expert. Did you hear that? Matters of Subject Matter Experts. Really the only thing that matters is to advance the human race as one community. Exactly what Evote.one does with a simple open public shared database that's never been done. Foia.one destroys Google, Facebook, all the big databases that only sell ads. It's the only way. Subscriptions and ads is the only way the criminal ruling elite make your money. And you think they're going to give it back to you? You think you get back your taxes, 100% of your taxes? You'd be lucky if you get 2%. Where's the money go? Wars, backpocketing, offshore, banking. I said offshore banking, money laundering. And that's why you only have oligarchs that run the world. Monopolies, first families. They all have names. I call them criminal ruling elite, which I guess is a new branded term. So yeah, I remain damning the criminal violators. And I even wrote LuciferAgenda.com. I showed the 13 plagues of WorldWar4.org. It's all there. And yet nobody, 8 minutes now, 7 minutes, nobody's protecting my life, just like no one's protecting your life. Name the person or group or entity that protects your rights, your soul, or your life. The answer is zero, except for God and myself and my other guardian angel protectors. I even consolidated everything at investkeith.org just recently. And the biggest events of all time will always be Peace Summit 1, which was urlident.com. It's now Foia.one. And it's all about every one of you now learn to be a peacemaking, problem-solving expert. That's it. And Tom Hegg, you can find him very quickly. And you can join me on zoom.us on my channel, very top of unocracy.org, that does it all. One umbrella for the entire world. Who's going to be our leaders? Well, that'll be Fortune1.org using WTF1, spelled out, .org, World Trade Federation. Open public barter exchange system where everyone can list what they have to sell, have their buyers make the agreement, and make sure they conclude the deal called closing the sale using only kbitcoins.org. That's the only K-credits, K-debits, temporary numbering system to put a value on something so that a dollar buying power today will be the same 1,000 years from now. We now live in one world community. One world trade, barter exchange. And if you work, you have every right to decide what to do with all of your profits. That's called profitshareholders.com. And the one big one's going to really hit, the bus is coming, freebus.us. Reinvestall.com is only 3 steps. Invest in yourself, invest in people, not corporations. And of course, the most obvious is only local credit unions, everyone using solutionbankfraud.com to prevent cybercrime terrorist attacks, which happens all the time, hourly, secondly. And the fourth is only privately held companies. 9 minutes. 206 pound built by Keith. Our channel is revolutionary. We are the wealthiest person in world history, but we're living on nothing but Social Security and plasma. Why? Well, this will convince everybody in the world what my initial worth was way back in 2011, October 10th, when I get kidnapped. I get freaking kidnapped by Robert D. Rosa, cybercrime terrorist, who pays off the government, who then proceeds to solve, oh, I've already solved it. There it is. Cyber public owner. You are owner of your own destiny. And there's the solutionpeace.org. Global Peace was the group I worked with. Call all world leaders to unify the world. And this are the business cards. In fact, this remains the most powerful lawsuit that everyone refuses to sign, including Governor Kemp, was delivered this years ago. This is DuncanClaim.org, which is only 20 pages long. And it basically claims, it shows every single person who ordered I be killed, silenced. And the only way after 6 months, obviously 3 months speedy trial was violated initially, but no one would ever show any evidence that I did anything wrong. I am viceless, sinless, crimeless my whole life. I'm 67 years old. And to prove I'm the real person, I'll take off my easy hat. That's me. And the visionary of all time. So DuncanClaim.org is $500 million. It's actually worth press conferences with Governor Kemp. These are the people who had jurisdiction the whole time. And it's all about one line LinkedIn email that I never sent. Robert D. Rose, August the 28th. And the same video used to create temporary Cobb County restraining order, 11.1.7683. Rose then claimed it was a violation 3 days later. The same video that was never shown in court. And then it gets worse when I'm kidnapped October 3rd, not September 25th when I go to solutionmilitary.com. I go to Langley Air Force Base to tell the government, you have a moral responsibility, ethical and financial and legal right to go after every terrorist and criminal in the world. Because the local police, the FBI, the Attorney General are already in bed, screwing the hell out of you. I'm a pastor, clergy, like Martin Luther King. Today's January the 19th, 2026. I got photographic memory. And I'm sitting here frustrated as hell that you, my people, won't support me. All I need is a safe place to sleep called Safe Haven, which is exactly what I did when I went out of Atlanta to Los Angeles through CEO Space, which is still very critical. We're offering to buy millions of small businesses and turn them around as only OEM, original equipment manufacturers, get rid of the service industry, which obviously gets rid of the stock market. Oh, there it is. Reinvestall.com is only 4 steps. Invest in yourself, which means get smarter. Invest only in people. Don't invest in corporations. 3, may sound brutal, but it makes sense. Only take all your money out of the mega banks, publicly traded. Only go to local credit unions, trust and savings loans. That means your money will be loaned out for 2 to 3%, and you get 1 to 2% of your savings checking account because everyone's going to pay me to use solutionbankfraud.com, which is only 2 simple methods to get rid of the fraud department. No more Federal Reserve System, no more Securities Exchange, no more FDIC, no more all these unbelievably siloed, privately held companies. But they're all about scamming, multi-level marketing, Ponzi. Just trust them. Number 4 is only privately held companies, which means if you put $1 million into a company, you become their advisor. How much simpler can that be? And Harvey Snyder, of all people, at Merrill Lynch, at ML.com, knew this. Everybody at my church, Peachtree Corners Baptist Church, knew this. Everyone at Peachtree Road United Methodist Church knew this. Now Oak Grove United Methodist Church knows it, and nobody is willing to have a sit-down meeting. How can we help, Keith, unify the entire world with Evote.one? 8.27 billion people all benefit as debt-free middle class. Only at the village level. The entire government collapses, and the corporations collapse. So every village manufactures their own products and services. In fact, I even have KeithAirService.com, $1 an air mile, 1 to 3 glide ratio. And we're paying the FAA, so here's Peachtree DeKalb Airport to prove that we're there, to produce lightweight aircraft. Behind me is a Pistrel. I personally knew Pat Epps a long time ago, and I personally know Randall, but now he died, Gary Rollins. We're going to buy Rollins Energy Systems and convert it to be Mountain Power, which is now solutionwater.org, and turnofflights.com, which is really our greatest concentration of world stabilizing patents that you own. We're giving everything away so that I can finally travel the world to educate with billions of other super wealthy, smart people that are honest and trustworthy how to be only spiritual leaders. Here is signature. This is givingpledge.space. We're going to take over all these 20,000 turbo aircraft, turboprops jet aircraft. It's a 19604FX. Yeah, we've been calling executives around the world. We've been calling Elon Musk. We've been calling Bill Gates. We've been calling Warren Buffett. We've been calling everybody. so that you will finally understand that the multi-billionaires, multi-millionaires, the millionaires have every right to be multi-millionaires, and they will with our system. But most of them will be mentors and spenders, spending 70 to 80% of their net worth now to build infrastructure. That means no taxes. And who's going to control the infrastructure? You, we, God's people. Which immediately goes back to godsconstitution.org, the original 11 commandments. Only one I violated my whole life happens to be, I work on the Sabbath, just like Jesus Christ did. I'm not Jesus Christ, and to think that for 848 days and then an additional 60 days, I'm told that I'm a drug addict and I must be drugged. What the hell? Drugged because I'm turning criminals over to the government and to you? Well, that's going to end up being manhuntall.com. The ultimate citizen's arrest. Article 3, line number 13. Go look that up. Support me now. Call me directly and go with us to the national news media. Go with us to Governor Brian Kemp's office. In fact, go to any mayor, any police chief, any corporate executive, and give them unocracy.org, the greatest gift of all time. How to create debt-free, crime-free, drama-free, only middle-class villages. Free travel, free trade, no more walls, no more Mexican wall, no more Berlin Wall, no more of these walls, and you are going to finally kick out all the most evil, worst, monster, evil criminals in the world, starting with President Putin. And Chinese Communist Party, all of them, 220 of them. In fact, there's 80,000. They control all of China. They've already created worldwar4.org. But you're allowing it because you don't understand the complexity of how bad the criminals want you dead. Depopulation. And here I have the system to stabilize the entire economy. Evote.one. Everything else is keys to God's universe. I have one key to the greatest solutions in world history, and I've already published them. Here on YouTube, one of the few channels that stays open. I don't even use Twitter much or anything else. Even Facebook I've used, but never results. Because the people are being stupid. The old adage I keep thinking about because God tells me to. Remember, you could take a pig, dress it up with a wig, makeup, wedding gown, or bridal dress, whatever it is, high heels. At the end of the day, it's still a pig. A criminal is a terrorist. They'll do everything and anything to sacrifice you. Call me up immediately and go with us to recover not only $500 million, $40 billion of patent technology we're selling off to every government, every corporation in the world to stabilize the economy. We're gifting everything away. You know anyone else is 100% gifter? Procreator, or crime-free utopia, unocracy.org. Repeated until finally the world comes together. Here I'm sitting in one of the best places I've ever been, which is Carl Sandburg's chair, Flat Rock, North Carolina, near Asheville. That's where we're moving our company. I even have Yoda Keith. It expired. And there it is. Evote.one and the new open public database makes everything happen, and it's all based upon what you see. It is Peace Summit 2026.
Most interesting, I'm doing a video record of myself, which is why there's an echo back. I'm using Zoom back to myself, which is the top of unocracy.org, to show the last time exactly what's about to happen. This is the key website. This is the God's Constitution and Solution Manifesto downloadable. There's team.
Exactly, December 28th, 2025. This is number 1206. This describes the final solution, unocracy.org, at every respects. Notice that we're the only group of super wealthy people who actually solve problems and give everything away. And that's the value of all these diagrams that we put out. Listen closely and get us back on national news as quick as possible. Exactly. December the 31st, 2025, number 1206, Pound, built by Keith. The most revolutionary peacemaking system in world history was always unocracy.org. The will of the we, the people, decide the next project. 2, only direct funding by that same group. And 3, we pick and replace the leader. Automatically, your brain will say, oh, you have a moral obligation to solve any problem in the world. Starting with yourself, because you can't help anybody unless you help yourself, to get yourself clear-minded, called coherent and exactly Sunday, December the 28th, 2025, number 10106. Here's the most famous sign of all time. It's right there. Can you read it? It describes everything required to create a crime-free utopia. Unocracy.org. How is this so critically important? Every person in the world now becomes a peacemaking, problem-solving expert. You decide everything about everyone else. Absolute final summary is we, the people, pick every project and every leader in the world. Contact us and protect our lives today with no exception, and actually be paid to be new world leaders today.